Where's all your hair going? Did you
Oh
shave your
yeah.
head?
So I noticed that when they were cutting my hair, it seems like I'm getting more forehead.
You're getting some widow's peaks. Mine are there. I just hide them a little better.
When I'm cleaning my head, it used to just kind of be like this, or cleaning my face. But now I'm
Yeah.
like finding myself going up here. This is a Shure
Oh, is that an SN95?
SM7B, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
It's supposed to be the best. That's what everybody's got.
That's what the pros use. I was Googling that the other day, actually.
So I had to get this, and then this cable, and then it goes into this audio controller that I can plug two mics into, and it can also plug monitors into, and then it comes out of there and goes to these headphones that have a big fat headphone jack. How's it sound? Is it loud, quiet, shitty?
It sounds good.
All right, because when I record games, I got to put it up here because I need a preamp for it because it's cranked up to like 9, and I don't want to go to 10 because that makes it crappy. So
Yeah, then you're all peaked out really bad, overdriven.
So I'm still trying to get it figured out. I got a preamp ordered to last night. Man, all right. So first thing this morning, there was some conflict, of course. I was talking to Laura, everything was good, and I was like, oh yeah, by the way, I ordered some stuff on Amazon, and I used your Amazon card because she has Prime, and I figured I'll just charge it on hers, it'll be done, and then I'll just pay it this morning.
You fucked up, didn't you?
She was all pissed off. Well, she wasn't like pissed off, but she was just like, don't do that again. I'm like, okay. I was like, if you did that with mine, I don't really care. It like my Amazon card, it's not like it's taking money, it doesn't really matter if you're going to pay it off. But so I was able to switch the payment to my card on one of them. And then I need an extender for this because this cord is like tight against here. And I couldn't do that one. So I ordered like $8. Like, okay.
$8? You don't share your Prime account?
No, because we both had different accounts, and then she got Prime for some reason, and I don't have it.
Yeah, but you can put your name on her Prime. Like Steph and I are on the same Prime, and you can actually share Prime accounts with friends. So we have a friend we share our Prime account with, and we just split the, because it's like once a year, it's like 80 or $100 or something.
Yeah.
We just like, they just send us a check, and they're like, here you go. And we're like, hey, cool.
Yeah, I put my card on her account now, so I can just choose my card.
There you go. Yeah, that's probably the better way. Yeah. Yeah, like, because we do Prime all the time. I mean, like, on the other side of the camera, there's like Prime Box, and you should see my garage is full of Prime boxes because I got money again, so I ordered all this stuff. I got this awesome magnet that is, I can't return this magnet. I misordered it. It's a dangerous item, and I'm not allowed to return it, and it's this.
Is it because it's a super duper magnet?
Yeah, supposedly this will hold 200 pounds.
Okay.
Oh my God. I haven't played with it because I thought it was a package of multiple 2-inch diameter mag. Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
That was a pen. That's just a pen.
So it's dangerous because if you got your finger in between there, it would squish it?
It actually, it has a warning on it. There's a warning. It's got a warning on the box. Safety warning. Keep away from children, pacemakers, and other electronic devices. Handle with care. Magnets are strong and brittle, may break or splinter in a collision, and may cause damage to your finger or other body parts.
Or face.
I've never bought a magnet with a warning on it. But this one does. This one has it. I thought it was a bunch of little 2-inch magnets. It's just one. And this is just a standard cheap giveaway pen. And like, oh, ow. Like,
you're going to squish your finger off.
I know, it's going to be hilarious. Let's see if it'll pick up my safety glasses, which are all plastic. Oh, I thought there'd be a screw in there or something. Nope. It picked up this regular plastic pen. That's
And
just the magnet or the spring inside of it. That's all that's holding it.
Huh.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna break shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Oh, then
I got a little bit of money because I got my tax return and my stimulus and my paycheck like all within a couple days. So I'm like,
you know what we call that?
what do I do with all this money?
You pay your bills because we're poor. Like,
I paid off a bunch of stuff. I'm waiting for my Micro Center statement to come in the mail though, so I got to pay that one off still.
you buy all that stuff at Micro Center?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of stuff. That stuff's not cheap, is it? I mean, that was. Oh, hi, Simon.
No, this wasn't cheap, but the rest of the stuff wasn't very expensive.
The
it was just
accessories weren't bad.
A bunch of little things and then one big thing. So.
Yeah. Put my tools away. Simon, no.
The cameras
I lost my
keep like
dog right before we filmed.
flickering. Sorry, go ahead.
What keeps flickering?
The cameras keep like shutting off for a second, or I don't know what's going on, or like jumping. I don't know. Anyway,
1 second. Let me fix that. It might be on my end. Side guy, chill. Better now?
mine was doing it too. It happened a couple times while you were talking, so I was looking to see if anything was like screwing up. Everything looks like it's working.
Okay.
All right. I have a Colorado DMV rant, and I'm cooled off about it now, so it's not gonna sound as bad as it did at the time. So I have a 1991 truck, which is 30 years old. So do you remember what the classic car limit used to be? Because people have told me it was like 25 years and 30 years.
It depends. I thought it was 20 or 25 for a while, but they changed that, I think.
Yeah, then someone told me it was 30, so I asked them, and they said it's now 32.
So it's a certain year. It's not. So it's like 1989 or older.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I forgot about redoing the plate on my truck. So it was like the last week. So I got emissions done, which now costs $70.
$70.
Which, what the hell are we doing? Because they don't test the emissions. They charge me $70 to run it on the dyno and see if it's smoking.
Well, yeah, for yours. Oh, my camera just freaked out.
Yeah, mine did too.
For yours, it must be a Discord problem.
Maybe.
Yeah, for yours, there are no emissions controls. They just need to make sure it doesn't smoke.
Yeah, that's
There's
it.
no EGR. You know what? You need to update it, and you need to put DEF tank on your truck.
Yeah, that's a whole nother mess of shit I don't want to deal with. So I got that
what you
done.
really need to do is move out of a county that has emissions, because I haven't done an emissions test in 5 years, and it is the greatest thing I've ever experienced. This is the first time I've ever lived outside of an emissions county, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I tried to do that. We were almost bought a house, and then COVID happened, and we kind of quit doing that. All right, so that, whatever, it is what it is. I got to do emissions. So, another thing about that is for diesel, there are no state emissions facilities, only for gas, as far as I can tell. So you have to find an independent private shop that does emissions. So that's one thing, is if I have to do it, why don't they provide a place for me to do it? All right, so that's out of the way. $70 there. I got my emissions test. I got my renewal card. I go to the DMV in the morning, like Tuesday. I stand in line. I'm like the 7th person in line. I'm like, cool. I'm going to be out of here. I'm not even going to be late for work. So I get in there, and they're like,
dumb motherfucker.
They're like, what time's your appointment? I'm like, I don't have an appointment. I'm here. I got to renew my stuff. I got my papers. I just need to do it. And they're like, nope, you have to have an appointment. It's been like this since March. And I said, well, I was just searching on your website to make sure I have everything I needed, and I didn't see anything about that. So what do I do? So this guy brought me aside and he's like, all right, you can use our kiosk. I'm like, okay, but I bet it's not going to work. So I go to the kiosk. Didn't work. He's like, okay, you can do it online. And I said, okay, well, that's never worked. I've tried to do that before. I've never had that work. He said, all right, well, here's an envelope. Bring it back here and stick it in the box with a check. Like, all right, fine. I go to work, come home, get it all together, write a check. It says on the envelope, you only need to provide proof of insurance if your renewal card says that you must have proof of insurance. And I didn't have a card, and I didn't have a printer that worked, which I bought one of those while I was at Micro Center. So I just put it all in there. I took it back to him. 2 days later or whatever, I get it back in the mail. And it says, you need proof of insurance. And, oh, yeah, now it's late, so you have to pay the late fee.
No.
So I was like, all right. So I went on at one time and I tried to schedule an appointment. Well, you can't do that until like the last week of March. They're all full.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. I printed out my insurance, all the insurance information, not just the card, everything. I put it in the envelope with a new check. I took it back to him the next day. So then a few days later, I get it back in the mail again. And it says, your insurance is inadequate for some law. I was like, what? Oh, you motherfucker. I was like, going to kill you all. So I immediately emailed my insurance place and I said, all right, I took a picture of it. I said, I got this. It says it's not good enough. I need to have whatever they say I need to have, which is stupid because I told them in there, put this on there, email me the paperwork, and then take it back off. So it's stupid that you even have to do that because I can just take it back off right away.
What insurance didn't you have?
It had comp on it, which is just like comprehensive and not liability. It has to have at least liability to get your stickers for your plates.
How did you not have liability insurance? That's like the basic insurance.
When I'm not driving it, it just basically has storage insurance.
Okay. All right. I got you.
To give you an example of how much that costs, when it has storage, my total insurance with my car is like $130 a month.
Yeah.
And when they put liability on the truck, it's $300. So I got to pay $300 this month just because I had to do that. So I put it all back in the envelope again. I take it back to him, and I did not get it back yet. And that was Wednesday of last week, not this. This is Saturday for us.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten it back yet. And the meanwhile, I'm like looking every day to make sure it doesn't have a tow sticker on it. So.
Oh yeah, because you have to street park it where you're at, don't you?
Yeah, it's parked on the street. So there's that. So just beware, everybody, to know that you have to have an appointment if you plan on going to the DMV. So then here's an icing on the cake, if you want to say. Laura had to get her car done. She goes to emissions, and they're like, because of COVID, we don't want you guys waiting in the waiting room, so we don't need to put the sniffer on it or run it on the dyno. We just need to put the gas cap pressure on. And then, so they do that. They're like, does it have any check engine lights? She said, no. Okay, here's your paperwork. Done. That's it. Like, what is it? $25? I don't know what it is. So hers is done. She goes directly to their kiosk and does it, and then prints their stickers out right there. Done. I've been doing this for 3 weeks now, and I don't have my stickers yet. And I had to pay a late fee, and I had to pay insurance, and I had to pay $70 for emissions on something that they don't test emissions on. So what are we doing, Colorado? Why?
They're coming.
I want to write some letters or something, but they're just going to be like, yeah, fuck this guy. So there was that.
I'm sorry. Sounds rough.
The next thing there is.
Oh, God.
Is, you know, all the stuff that's been happening with my car, and there was a guy that came over that said he knows how to fix it. So this guy came over, and he didn't have the right cable, so he's like, all right, I'll come back later this week. Never saw him again. That was like a month ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
Sent him a couple text messages. I called him, left him an email or voicemail, never heard anything. Finally, my boss got a hold of a guy at the other shop that knows him, that used to work with him. And he's like, I think he's in Alaska. because he's from there.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, whatever, but I'm going to have to do emissions on this car within the next month or two.
Yeah.
So I had to get this taken care of. So apparently he's supposed to be getting a hold of the guy, or the guy that knows him also knows how to fix it. So he's going to come work on it or something. I'm like, whatever. I just need to know. So if I got to take it somewhere, I can make an appointment and do that before the last day.
What do they got to do to it? I know you've had some issues with it, but what are they doing to it now?
These guys think that they can get into the tune and find where the RPM error is.
Okay, I got it.
It's getting RPM higher than expected code.
And
they think the Volkswagen dealer thinks it's an error between the mass airflow sensor and the oxygen sensor somewhere in the tune.
So you have an high idle code, basically.
Kinda. Randomly, when you're sitting at a stoplight, the RPMs will just go up by itself and come back down. And sometimes if you just kind of go a little bit and push the clutch in, it'll just rev up to 2 and stay there until you let the clutch out. So there's that, which I'm getting anxious about because we're running out of time. There's the mechanic at the Volkswagen dealer told me that he would write me one of those letters for the warranty lawyers. So when I sent the one to you, I haven't gotten one from anybody yet. So you're not behind if you're planning on doing it. So
I am. I'm just stupid. You need to text me. I'm an
idiot.
I
I emailed the guy who's my contact at the dealer. Never heard from him. Like 3 weeks later, sent him 2 emails. Finally, I called over there and someone gave him a message to get back to me about it. And he's like, oh yeah, I talked to the mechanic and he said that you should get a letter from the manufacturers of the cold air and the exhaust. And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing that. But you said you'd write me this letter. If you're not going to, please let me know so I can find somebody else. That's all I want to know.
Yeah,
never heard back from him again. He didn't even bother to say, no, I'm not going to do it. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Fuck you. There was another guy. Oh, another guy who was like the manager at our other shop, the mechanic manager or something. He said he would do one too. I sent it to him. No reply. Sent him another email a week later. No reply. And then I got his phone number, sent him a text message, no reply. I can't get anybody to help.
I'll help. You gotta remind me.
I'm not saying you're
second email or text. You gotta help me. I'm stupid.
I'm not saying you're not helping because you haven't sent it yet. I'm saying all these people that said they were going to help me are now just ignoring me.
Yeah.
So I just kind of forget about those guys. I got a hold of Andrew Jenkins.
Ooh.
And I sent one to him. So
there you go.
I got you, Chad, and Andrew because Annika saw our last podcast episode.
Nice.
And it was like when it was released. So she must have been watching it like right when it came out. And she was texting me like, hey, send one to Chad. Okay. So I did that. I'd like to have, like they said, to have 3 letters. I'd like to have like 5 if I could. I think that'd be cool.
Remind me I'm not going to a birthday party or something, and I will sit down and write you something. I'm sorry. I never think of it.
It's not like we're on a time limit for this, but I had the mediation with them in October, and it took me until like the end of January to write that letter to send to people. Because I was so overwhelmed by it that I'm like, I can't even think about this anymore at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's all going on. I feel like it's just nothing's going to come of it anyway. So it's not like a huge deal, but I need to follow through with it and do another mediation, say, here's these letters. And then they're going to say, okay, whatever, bye. You know, they doesn't mean that they have to give me the money, even if I have those letters that say they're stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Very frustrating. I'm sorry it's still dragging on, man. Holy crap.
Yeah, and it's been a year in December, January, February, March. We're coming up on April. It's been a year and 5 months since this happened, and I'm still trying to get anything from it.
Yeah. Yep.
I also had Laura print out the letter from the lawyer. he sent it to the dealer that put the engine in to fix my bumper. And then those guys ignored me and hung up on me. So I had her print it out so I can send it like priority mail or something so I know that they received
certified mail, yeah.
Because the lawyer emailed it to them so they can be like, oh, yeah, we never got it.
You send it certified, they have to sign for it.
Yeah. So I'm going to try that. I mean, that's only $1,000 in the grand scope of things, so it's not worth taking them to court for $1,000 or something. But fuck me, you know?
Yeah, well, you're here and you're probably not going to show up on their door, and yeah, maybe leave a couple nasty reviews. Maybe that'll get them, and I don't know.
I got in that mood one day and I just started going on Google and leaving reviews for all these companies that have been screwing me.
Yeah, I've been there. The people that messed up my truck almost got one, but my friends still works there, so I haven't done it yet, but he's looking for a new job. So as soon as he's gone, you know what?
I just remembered, actually, when you're saying that, I think it's tomorrow. I couldn't remember if it was today or tomorrow. There's a NASCAR dirt race in Bristol. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. I'm watching it.
I was thinking, you know, it'd be cool is if we did like a live stream of this while we were watching it, but I don't know how. I'm sure that we would get copyright somehow for showing it. So I was like, I don't know if I even want to. It could be something that we could try, and if it didn't work, just not do it again. But
yeah, I think the big thing is you can't have the audio, like their audio of the race. You know, you have to. I've seen that before. People were doing that when NASCAR went back. You know, people who normally would be there participating in some form on the team, they'd have watch parties and they'd sit there and they'd show them, because you can't show the screen and you can't show the audio. So it's a whole thing.
Yeah, I think if you had it on like a small corner with no audio, you're okay. But that also reminded me, I have a video clip that I want to show you, but I forgot to get it ready because we decided to do this right away.
Well, yeah, because I got crap going on all the time. I couldn't find my dog when we started this, and I found him eventually, but he put himself to bed downstairs, which they never go downstairs unless we're down there. So I was like, where's my dog? I had a little panic attack. But I found him. He's here, barking. He had surgery to remove a tumor yesterday.
Oh, how'd that go?
It's gone. They're sending it to pathology to see if he has cancer, which is kind of a bummer. So hopefully that's all good news and we'll hear back and life will be good.
I'm listening to you. I'm just trying to find this place so I can show you. Yeah, my dogs had cancer before. Like, we had Great Pyrenees in Illinois on the farm, and they would get cancer in their front legs. Ooh. So one of them had this big tumor on his leg, and he was old anyway, so we just had to put him down basically. So yeah, we've had that, and it's different living on a farm and having outside dogs. They're not like, I don't want to say, I guess I want to say you're not as attached to them.
Yeah. In
a way, I suppose. Like, you like them and everything, but they're not in your house with you all the time, so you're not as close.
Yeah, I treat this guy basically like my kid, so hopefully it's low grade and they just say keep an eye out on him and it ain't a big deal, because I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they do for dogs with cancer. I'm sure you could spend all the money in the world, but I don't exactly have that, so.
Yeah, at a point too, I guess you got to decide if you want to pay whatever amount, you know, I don't know, or if you can even.
Well, that'll be the thing. We'll see what comes of it, see what the prognosis is, and go from there, you know, and see what's available, if he needs more stuff and how much that is, and if that's something we can make happen or not. You know, we'll do everything we can, but at the same time, like, I can't sell my house, you know, and it's mostly you have to view quality of life for him too. If it's going to elongate his life by 3 months.
Yeah.
Is it just stretching out his suffering by 3 months at that point? Yeah.
did they remove it and then send it to be tested?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
This dude's gnarly. You want to see a picture of him?
Oh sure.
He's chilling here. Let me. Uh-oh. I screwed that up somehow. There we go. See that nasty thing?
Oh, is that on his back? Okay.
Yeah. Keep moving, dude. It's like
Hey, doggy.
they're going for a walkabout now. It's pretty big. It's 3 inches. Paved area is like 3 inches wide. Probably 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches of stitches. So he had a little bump, and we had it tested last year, and it was a lipoma, so that wasn't a big deal, just a fatty tissue thing. And this year, it's a mast cell tumor, which is pretty bad, I guess. So we'll see what comes of it. So we're hoping for the best for him. He seems okay. He doesn't seem like he's got any issues. He doesn't have any pain. He's just chilling. So.
I had a bump on my head. I don't know if you can see it. There's like a bald spot right there.
Oh, did they cut it out?
There's kind of a little bump there. I don't know if it's a scar. They said it could come back. Yeah, it was like right after Furniture Row closed, and I couldn't get in until like the beginning of the year when my insurance was over.
Mm-hmm.
So they cut it out, and I had to pay him. It was like $400 or something.
Yeah. Where's all your hair going? Did you shave?
Oh
your
yeah.
head?
So I noticed that when they were cutting my hair, it seems like I'm getting more forehead.
You're getting some widow's peaks. Mine are there. I just hide them a little better.
When I'm cleaning my head, it used to just kind of be like this, or cleaning my face. But now I'm like finding myself going up here. And it's funny when I see pictures of myself like from the top or the back, it's really thin up here, but I don't notice it because I can't see it. I'm just like,
exactly.
what?
Mine's getting really thin. I'm holding on to it as best as I can, but
I got it cut pretty short. The problem with my hair is if it gets very much longer than this, well, you saw it. It does all this curly, weird stuff, and I hate it.
Yeah, pretty long. I got my hair cut. I look like a kid right now, but I got my hair cut this week. It was pretty bad. This thing was like, can't even see. It was like,
yeah, I saw the pictures on Facebook recently.
yeah, we took a trip. So yeah, it was getting pretty out of hand. And actually we got stuck in Sedona a little bit longer than we thought. So I canceled my haircut, but then we ended up back in time for it, but I already canceled it. So it was one of those, life happened. I almost got stuck in Sedona, which apparently is like 20 minutes from Josh McWorthy's house.
Oh,
remember McWorthy?
I do, but I can't think of what he looks like. It's been too long.
Well, you have to be Facebook friends with him. I'm Facebook friends with him. And he's like, hey, you were like 20 minutes from me. And I was like, what the fuck? Really? I thought he was down by like, I don't know, Phoenix or something, but he was basically down the street. So should have gone and seen him, but we'll go next time. We went to the Grand Canyon and the Petrified Forest and Flagstaff. We went everywhere. Went to Winslow, Arizona. I was standing on a corner like the song.
Oh, okay. I saw that and it didn't click with me at first. I figured it was, and I just couldn't think of what the song was. But now that you said that, I know what it is.
Like, there's a song talking about taking it easy. What is he talking about? What? The Eagles song, man. The Eagles. I asked the gift shop people how much they hate the Eagles. They're like, well, we like the money that all these old people come and spend here, but beyond that, yeah, you kind of tuned it out.
Even one of the comments said something about, did a girl in a flatbed Ford slow down, take a look at you or something? And I was like, I know that song. What the hell is that?
I know that song. What the heck?
I even thought about, I was looking up how long it would take to drive like from here to Billings or, just for example, Montana and then to Idaho or South Dakota, just to like drive and look at these places, because when I'm thinking about places I might want to move to, Idaho or Montana might be one of them, but I've never been there. So I want to see what they look like. So I don't know.
I highly recommend just going.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Flagstaff, and I like going in. I was like, man, Flagstaff would be a cool town to live in. I don't want to fucking live in Flagstaff, but there's a lot of cool places we drove through and went around and saw stuff, and it's expensive, but you got to not look at every nickel and dime. You just got to go do stuff sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about it because in April or sometime April, May, I want to take a week off of work because I'll have enough vacation for like 3 or 4 days, and then I'll just have to take a day or two with no pay. Mm-hmm. But my goal is to just stay home and not have to do anything. But then I'm looking like, oh, I could drive here and I could go here and I could spend all this money to go here. And wait, I just want to stay home because every year we had to go do something, whether it's drive to Illinois, which we wanted to do, or drive to Texas, or have the water heater leaking, or have the furnace and the AC replaced. There's always something where my vacation has something I have to do. Yeah. And I want to have nothing. And I can either do this, I can record videos, I can live stream, I can do whatever I want to do and not have to cut it short because I got to go to bed because I got to go to work. Or, you know, I'm like, I still have, last time we did this, I had like 10 videos I had to edit. Well, I did all those, and now I have like another 6 I'm behind that I have to do. And I just, I can record them, but then I got to find another couple hours to edit them. And it just takes so much time to do that stuff.
Yeah, everything I've been finding takes time, but I've been working on slowing down, and I've been working on experiencing things. Like, I have a whole list of things I need to do on my truck, or want to do. I guess technically I don't need to. It still runs and drives. Like, I put black Colorado badges on it this morning. Super shiny. And I have like a new awning I want to put on it. I have the awning, I just need to make the brackets. I have all this stuff that I want to do, but at the same time, like, if I just work my ass off all weekend, I'll be wasted for Monday. So I'm prioritizing things. I'm saying no to things lately, which is weird. Some people aren't as responsive to that as you would think. But I have a couple of things I'm finishing up for other people, and then I'm telling them no. No, busy, can't do it.
I feel like a lot of people are just like, really, what else are you going to do? Sit around? Like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. You know, sometimes.
Well, I don't sit around very well, but there are times I just sit around. Like, tomorrow I'm going to sit around and watch the race. I think it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Before and after it, I'll be doing stuff around the house or fiddling with the truck or whatever. Today I got up, took Steph to work because we're going to the birthday party. She didn't want to take 2 cars, so I drove her to work, got some oil for her car, got some breakfast, came back, put my badges on, talked to my dad, ate some lunch. Now I'm talking to you. Then I'll get in the car.
Yeah,
I'll go back to town, get some liquor for the party. Oh, I got to bring my Margaritaville machine. We're having a birthday party for my friend, and it's taco themed. They want to do margaritas, so I'm bringing them a machine. And I'm going to go hang out with them. And yeah, I'm not going to get half the stuff I need, but like, it's not like the roof's falling off or the house is caving in. It's all stuff I want to do. I just don't have enough time, really. There's never enough time in the day or the week, and then I go to work for 5 days, and there's never enough time.
Yeah, we actually had a day off after the snowstorm on Sunday. Laura and I both had Monday off. So we went outside and shoveled the cars out. I had some pictures that it was up to on my hood. That's how high the drifts were in front of our house. And I don't even know if it was really a drift because it was all wet, heavy snow. Yeah. And so we shoveled it out kind of out to the center of the parking lot so that the plows could come and take it. Well, they didn't. They came in, they didn't take the snow that we shoveled out there. So then we had to go shovel that snow out of the way. But I got this video here. So this is what happens when you don't clear the snow off the roof of your car. All right.
All right. No.
Ready, go. Okay, are you seeing that?
Stopping, we're stopping. Snow's not stopping. Oh,
and I couldn't see over that snow that's on the hood right now. I had to sit way up in my seat to even see over top of it because this camera is up at my rearview mirror.
Oh, okay.
So then I eventually got up here and pulled over, and right behind me is where all the snowplows are, the gate. So there's none coming out right now. And then I get out and I have to clear it all off. And then this snowplow is going in the gate behind me. And then there's like 3 of them sitting there waiting to come out. So I'm like, trying to get in my car and get moving again.
Hey, those are my coworkers. You're slowing down their snow response.
And the wipers won't work because they wouldn't go down all the way.
Yeah.
So I'm like jumping in the car trying to get the hell out of the way. There we go. And then we're good. All right. Yeah. So that's why you clean the snow off the roof of your car, because I could not see that truck in front of me stopping.
Don't be a dick. Clean the top of your car off, dick. Mine has that rack on the top. So even if I don't clean the top off, there's a big panel so the snow won't slide forward. Ultimate lazy. Just build a giant roof rack to keep it from going forward.
It was pretty high. It was, oh man, it had to have been like 8 inches of snow on top of the car. It was really heavy.
Yeah, that super heavy wet crap. Yeah, I got a thing. Yeah. Oh man. So like, what did we talk like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Man, it has been shitty. I think like a couple days after we talked last, my grandfather passed away.
Oh.
So I went to Chicago and saw some family, which was good. Shitty reason to go, but he had Alzheimer's, so it's better. He didn't have to suffer, but it's still like, that sucks. Saw a lot of family though. Caught up with some people, went and had lunch with my friend. I'm going to his wedding this summer, so that was nice. We got back. I worked like a week, then I left and went to Flagstaff, and that was like go go go, and it was crazy. It was awesome, beautiful country. Grand Canyon was awesome. Petrified Forest was awesome. We drove down to Sedona through this area called Oak Creek, which is this really just beautiful little 2-lane road. Then we tried to come back, and the Arizona people were struggling on the snow. And it's the mountains, so like they get snow. It's not that unusual, but they were having a bad day. So we turned around, we went back to Sedona, ate lunch, then we tried to get back on the interstate. Man, it took me 2 hours to do like a 40-minute drive. We were just sitting there. They had like 2 inches of ice. It was just absolute chaos. I do not recommend going there in the snow, but like we got back to Flagstaff. That was cool. Went to Grand Canyon, which is just amazing. Have you ever been to the Grand Canyon? You need to come here and then we'll go there. It's awesome. It's totally awesome.
How far is it from you?
Like 6 hours.
Okay.
Like Petrified Forest, I didn't realize how close it was. It's only like 3 hours to the Petrified Forest, 3.5.
That sounds
like
cool.
6 hours to the Grand Canyon. It's only 5 hours of Flagstaff. And like the hotels were pretty cheap. They were like $115 a night for the DoubleTree, which that's a nice hotel for pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And the Grand Canyon, man, that was pretty cool. We want to do the North Rim. Probably not this summer. I don't have enough time, but maybe next summer.
Cool. Petrified Forest. I don't think I've even seen pictures of that. It's just a bunch of old trees that are petrified.
It's kind of just a bunch of old trees, but they're 220 million years old.
Oh, okay.
They look like logs. Like if you went in the forest, saw a tree laid over, imagine it looking almost identical 220 million years later. Pretty cool. There was one root ball. We bought a piece of petrified wood outside the park, because if you take it from in the park, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
But these Native Americans had a stand. We bought a piece, and like you can feel part of the bark, and it still feels like a wood, like a tree, like the outside of a tree. It's amazing. It's 220 million years old.
Sorry, your video was lagging, so like your mouth wasn't moving, but you're still talking.
Oh, I'm like, what's happening?
That'd be cool. I think Laura would like that. She likes trees, and she's tree huggers, or her game name.
She can hug a 220 million year old tree.
She'd
That's
like
an old
that.
day. I loved it. I thought it was cool. They had some little paths you could walk like right up to these big, almost whole trees. A lot of them are little tiny pieces. But you can walk right up to these big whole logs just laid down on the ground, like in the exact same spot they've been for 200 million years, 220. They got a cool visitor center. You can drive around. They got a Route 66 display because Route 66 used to go east-west across the park. So they got an old car. You can take your picture and stuff there. That's pretty cool. It was, it's not Rocky Mountain National Park, but it was really cool and it was pretty interesting. And I remember seeing pictures of it in like our science books growing up, and I was like, man, that's a log, but it's a rock.
Yeah.
Whoa. So it's really cool. I think if you ever, it's right off the interstate too. I think off of Highway 40, Interstate 40. If you're ever driving across the Interstate 40 and you see it, pull off. It'll take you like 2 hours and it's worth every minute.
Yeah, we don't normally find ourselves anywhere other than where we go. Like we wanted to drive to Texas because we had never driven that direction before.
Yeah.
And there wasn't really a lot to see on the way. Dallas was ridiculous. Like Laura and the kids were just crapping their pants in traffic the whole time. And I was like,
eat so much gluten next time.
I didn't know where I was going, that was the problem. I didn't know which lane I needed to be in and which way to go. So she's trying to tell me which way to go while she's freaking out, and I'm trying not to hit. It was crazy. It was worse than here, for sure.
Wow. That stretch of I-40 between like Gallup and Flagstaff, there was stuff to see. There was like these little Indian markets. There's the petrified forest. There's the giant meteor crater you can pull off and go look at that, which is, I think they think that's the one that killed the dinosaurs.
I forgot I had this light on. I was like, why is my head like shining?
Oh, that looks more normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get to Flagstaff. Flagstaff's a cool town. I wouldn't want to live there, but it's a neat town. They got a lot of cool stuff. Just west of Flagstaff is a town called Williams, and they have Arizona, which is like a drive-through zoo. You can get out and walk around, but then they have an area you can like do an auto safari through.
Oh.
So you're just in your car, and there's like a bear behind the tree, just being a bear.
That'd be cool. Will would like that.
The Grand Canyon's right there, which is cool. I mean, there's a lot to do. Sedona, amazing, beautiful country.
I'd like to go to the Grand Canyon, and I think Laura would like to go too. That would be cool. That's funny. I was streaming Assassin's Creed last night, and my friend Ryan that worked at Frontier with me and Chad, he moved to Arizona, and I'm just playing, and then all of a sudden I look over and he's in the chat, just like, hey, what's going on? Like, whoa, I haven't talked to you in I don't know, years. Like we tried to have him on here, like when we first started, he was gonna come on here with us, and then he didn't. That's the last time I talked to him. I didn't even talk to him that much back then.
Yeah.
So that was cool. He lives in Arizona. He says it's freaking hot.
It is hot. Like Flagstaff's not so bad, but anywhere south of there, I guess, is just like insanely hot. I don't want to go there.
I don't like it. I don't even like summers here because I came from air conditioning at Frontier or at Furniture Row, and then I went to no air conditioning with swamp coolers, which is just like 90 degrees with thick, like 60. Well, the thing that I had a little temperature gauge that has a humidity on it, and it said 60%, but oh man, it had to have been more than that.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
I like winters, and Laura doesn't like winters. I want to live in Alaska or something.
You guys should. We'll figure out, and we'll go camp at the Grand Canyon on the South Rim or something, or on the North Rim. Although the North Rim's only open in the summer, so it's really hot when you're getting there. But once you get there, it's way higher, so it's cooler.
Laura went to a birthday party last night at a movie theater.
What?
They rented out the entire theater room.
That's cool.
And so it was just her and a bunch of people that she works with. And she said it was like $150 to rent the entire room, and they played Back to the Future.
Whoa.
And they have drinks and food at this theater, kind of like Movie Tavern.
Yeah.
And I was going to go because it sounds cool, but then we decided that Will would have to go with us, and then he wouldn't get to bed till like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. So I stayed home and put him to bed at 8, and then I played games.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, it's weird. Everybody's being weird. I got my vaccine on,
Oh, yeah.
what was that, a week ago Friday? Yeah, I think so. Or, yeah, a week ago. And I had 0 side effects whatsoever. I guess like my arm might have been sore. But that's a direct effect. I don't think that's a side effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel fine. And I go in like 2 more weeks. I get my second one. I got 4 weeks till I'm totally free and clear and can go do whatever I want. And man, the people I work with, though, they were telling me all sorts of things about why I shouldn't get vaccinated. I'm going to die. And if I do die, then my insurance doesn't have to pay out and all this crazy shit. And I was like, hey, you said you didn't want it. And I said, okay. And I said I did. And you should just go, okay, and then shut the fuck up.
Right.
But they don't. They just sit there and tell you you're an idiot for doing your part to make the world a better place. And I just can't handle these people, man. I found my next venture. If you want to get in on the ground floor, it'd only take about $30,000. Just so you know, whenever you got some cash laying around. I found these Army trucks. They're called LMTV, Light Mobile Tactical Vehicle, I think. Transport vehicle, something like that. Anyway, they're 4x4 and 6x6 Army trucks. They're cab overs with a cat motor. And they have a little flatbed on them, or you can get ones with bodies. They have all sorts of variants you can find, but the flatbeds are the easiest ones to find. I'm going to build a camper on it, and then I'm going to leave civilization like this. And I'm going to go live out in the desert. I was talking to my dad a little bit about it today. I was like, when I get the money together, don't be surprised if I disappear into the desert. He's like, well, eventually you'll have to come out for diesel fuel, right? And I was like, I'm going to make my own diesel fuel from the land. He's like, okay, we're coming out there to put you in a home.
Yeah, I was listening to Tom Green on one of these podcasts I listened to, and he bought like a Dodge van, and he has solar panels, and
he's been out in my neck of the woods, man. He was out here in the fall. It was awesome. I've been watching his YouTubes about it. He was literally, we went to this arch he went to. He was here in the fall, and we went there like 3 weeks ago. Was awesome.
Yeah, he's got a drone and stuff to take video, and he's got all his podcast equipment in there, so he just does it like that, and he lives like that. Yep.
And he's got his dog Charlie. Charlie's awesome. Makes his own music. You can't see my hands, but he has a keyboard, and he makes his own background music while he's out there. It's pretty trippy. He was out at Valley of the Gods, Monument Valley. Probably like a month before we were out there. We went out there for Christmas, and he was there, I think, probably late October, early November, so maybe 2 months. Man, you need to come here. I know it's expensive, but like within 3 hours, we can go to so many cool things.
Driving out there, I mean, it's not that far. It's only like 6 hours, isn't it, from here?
Yep.
So we want to do that, and it's not that big of a deal because it was 10 hours to Texas, and it's 14 to 16 to Illinois. So like we used to do this every year. So like that's not that big of a deal. And I've never driven over the mountains. I've been to Vail, I think is all the farther I've gone west into the mountains.
Oh man, you gotta come out here. It's awesome. Except don't come in like the dead heat of summer because the desert stuff's really hot. And the mountain stuff, you need like a big badass truck to get through.
Yeah, we'd probably just drive my car out to you or something. I'm waiting
there's
for
plenty of cool things to do and see and go. And are you doing cocaine off your thumbnail?
I feel like I got something in my eyeball.
Uh-oh.
But I think it's just dry.
It's probably just a piece of metal. Don't worry.
It's fine. I've had that before.
Yeah.
It's
uncomfortable.
So yeah, I'm waiting for Laura to get a new job because the deal is when she gets a new job, she can get a new car.
Oh.
Because hers is paid off and she doesn't make enough money to have a car payment on top of whatever other bill she has right now.
Yeah.
So she wants to get like a new-ish, maybe new. Hyundai Santa Fe, not the big one.
That's a Telluride, I think, is the big one now. I think the Santa Fe is the second.
Telluride, Santa Fe, and then there's what's the one below it? Think. Anyway, Tucson, maybe.
Tucson. Or is that a Kia? I don't know.
I think it's the size of like a Mazda
5.
Is that what it is? Yeah,
CX-5.
like the small SUV type thing.
Yeah.
But that would be way better for road tripping in than my Volkswagen. Well, the good thing about the Volkswagen is the back seat is smaller, but there's more hatch space. And we can pile the hatch all the way up to the ceiling in there. So we can fit a lot of stuff in the back of that thing.
Yeah, but you can't take your car down a big, long dirt road in the middle of the desert like you take a Hyundai. Even though it's just a dirt road, like, you're not going to take your car 20 miles down a gravel road to go see like Chaco Canyon or anything like that.
Did you see the pictures of me plowing with my car, plowing snow?
No.
So I got to work and they hadn't plowed our lot before the last snow. So it wasn't heavy. It wasn't even slippery. I tried to do a donut when I got in there and it wouldn't even slide.
Lame.
It was like probably 6 inches above the bottom of the front bumper. And I just went in there and I drove around and I went forward and backward to plow out a place for me to park.
Oh, man. Oh, man. It takes a lot of snow for me to plow it. I found it in the mountains this fall when we went to try and rescue that truck. But by the time I start plowing snow with my truck, it floats pretty fast. So I have to stop.
If it's that high, it's pretty high.
Yeah, it was like I had chains on and I was doing pretty good until I hit snow deep enough to like float my skids, and then I would pick up and get high centered pretty quick because it was kind of heavy and wet shit. So, but I have a lift kit coming on Tuesday for it. Pretty excited about that.
I can't imagine what I could have done to my car if I would have put $20,000 into it instead of just trying to fix it. That thing would be unbelievable.
It would be something.
Yeah. Whatever. It is what it is now.
It is what it is now. Hey, I don't want to tell you how to live your life, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yep. I'd love to be able to find a way out of it, but I don't know what that is yet. One thing I did do is I've been listening lately to people that know what they're talking about talk about cryptocurrency.
Oh.
And they basically explained it like it made a lot of sense. Like it made me feel stupid for not doing it before.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if you put your money into a savings account, there's inflation, so your money is just losing value. So basically, you're just losing money letting it sit there.
Yeah.
Over time. Whereas if you were to put that money into something like Bitcoin, for example, which is increasing 200% every year, it might not go up and make you rich, but at least you're gaining value that way.
Yeah, as long as the market keeps going the right direction. Just like a stock. If you buy a stock that's performing in that same nature, you're gaining value, but eventually those stocks.
The cool thing about it, though, is the guy said, I didn't know that every 4 years, so they put like, say, 50 Bitcoin out every month for 4 years, or for example. And then after 4 years, it cuts in half, and then only 25 go out every so often. So I think they're down to like the 12 and a half go out every month now. So it's creating a scarcity of it. So it's creating a less supply, I suppose. So right now, Bitcoin is way above. Everything is like 1,000. It's one coin is worth $1,000 US. Bitcoin, when I looked at it Monday, one Bitcoin is worth 50,000.
Wow.
And today it's 55,000. So I put a little money into it.
Market falls though. What happens when that market goes bad is my only concern. It's good all now as long as you get your money out before the market takes a shit.
It's it's the same thing as the stock market basically, but instead of having to buy an entire share of something, whatever the price of that share is, you can just put $1. You can buy $1 or
you
whatever.
Buy $1 worth of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And if it goes up 200%, well, you have $3.
Yeah. So I bought some this morning, and while we were making breakfast, I made $5.
Look at you go. How if you don't mind sharing, how deep are you into Bitcoin? Like $200 or like $10,000?
So more like 100. No, I put I got all that money from the stimulus and tax return and stuff. So I put $500 into the wallet for the website. Oh. And then I got 400 in Bitcoin and then 100 in a different one called Ethereum, which is a less known one. But the guy explained it because they're going to, I don't understand this yet, but he said they're going to what's called blockchain 2, which is like a higher version of it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people are burning their old stuff to upgrade it. So it's creating less of a supply of it. So they expect that to go up also. So, so I took $500 of that, tax return money.
Free money. Yeah.
And I just put it in there, and I'm just kind of doing an experiment with it. I'm going to see what happens. But the cool thing about it is, like, if I look at it and say, well, I don't like this, I can just take that money back right now if I want to.
There you go.
So cool. It's not really like I spent $500. It's kind of more like I put it in a savings account that may or may not gain money, I guess.
It's like you put it in stocks.
Yeah.
Just a different market. Different market.
Also, I've got that $1,200 from the Trump stimulus just sitting in Ameritrade that I haven't put into any stocks yet. So I want to do that. I want to get some stocks with that. I want to get a little bit of cryptocurrency with this and have a little bit here, and here. And instead of putting it all in one thing.
Well, it's important to diversify even at that small/large of a scale, because I mean that's a lot of money. It would suck to lose $1,700, but at the same time, as long as you diversify it across a bunch of different markets, probably should do all right.
Laura was telling me, because I know absolutely nothing about the stock market, and her dad's been giving her advice and helping her invest a little bit. Mm-hmm. So she's telling me about, I think it's called dividends, where if you buy that stock, they pay you just to have it. So it's not a lot, but you're getting a little bit of money anyway.
Yeah, like you get a percentage of the profit from the company. That's your dividend. Yep.
Is that what it was? She said, because they pay her out like every month or something. Not pay her out, but they give her, you get money from it every month.
Yeah. Different stocks do that. Not all stocks do that. You got to pick and choose. And then if they have a bad year, obviously you don't get a dividend. But yeah, there are some that pay dividends just for being a shareholder. Pretty cool.
Yeah, so I haven't done that yet. The money's still sitting in there. And it was $1,200, and I looked at it this morning, and it's $1,200.11 now. So I don't know. I don't know what happened with that, but
they're probably giving you interest just for keeping it there, just like a bank account. You're not using it anywhere, so they have it in a bank account somewhere, and they earned interest, so they're giving you some of that interest.
Yeah.
You can go buy some GameStop, get in on the, what's that one, Wall Street Bets or something.
So that is a huge reason why I wanted to do this Bitcoin or cryptocurrency now, because by the time I heard about the GameStop thing, it had gone up a little bit, which was a lot compared to what it was at. Well, like $5. Went from $2 to $5. And I'm like, it's too late. I already missed it. Well, then it went up to like 300 like the next week.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I'm like, okay, now I really missed it. I can't do this now.
And then it went to 500.
Yeah. Well, then now everything's back down. So that's why I wanted to get Bitcoin now, because if I would have done this back in like 2010, I'd have $100,000 right now. I'd have a lot. But I thought it was stupid back then. So now I think is a good time to do it, because places in the US are starting to adopt that you can spend Bitcoin at their company. Like now you can buy Teslas using Bitcoin.
I heard Elon Musk said he was going to invest in some Bitcoins. So that's kind of cool.
And especially if people like Elon Musk start accepting this, I feel that's just going to help it go up also. And the guy also explained it as places like he used Venezuela for an example. He said that their currency there isn't worth anything and it goes up and down all the time. So like if you have $5, you got to go buy your groceries right now because tomorrow that's not going to be worth anything.
Yeah,
so,
tomorrow that 5 Venezuelan dollars, today it's maybe worth $1 US. Next week it might be worth a half a US dollar.
Yeah. So he said that in other countries, they use it all the time. Like even if you walk to a market with a bread stand, that guy accepts Bitcoin because their dollar is so crappy. But here we don't see it anywhere.
Yeah, I've had experience with it living in Durango. There's a few retailers who take Bitcoin, but they're all, small private shops, or like my barber used to take it where I had to get a new barber, stuff like that. So
that wouldn't be a bad idea because like a barber, you're losing like, a half an hour of your time, but maybe you're gaining something that might be worth more. So that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the current equivalent of Bitcoin, you're like, hey, it's $45. Here's 0.0001 Bitcoin.
So I feel like I missed out on a lot of it, but I feel like we're at this point where I could still get in and not be rich, but get something out of it.
Yeah, I hope it works. Just be careful. Don't lose all your money.
Yeah. Yeah, he even said if you just treat it like you would a 401k where they take money out of your check every time you get paid, just take like 3% of your paycheck and buy something else with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm going to try that.
I have to start reporting back. So we started off with $400 and we're at $405 now.
I saw the total amount. So I put 500 in total and then we made breakfast and then I was on the computer again and I looked at it and it was at 505.24. So
go. So that's between all accounts. They've gone up to, but they're not actually 500. That would be if you cashed out right now, that you pull 505 back out.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I like it.
If you got 3 hours to kill, I can link a podcast in the description. It's 3 hours, but there's a lot of good information. A guy he was in the army. He talks about being in the army in Iraq, and then now he's a cryptocurrency guy. So
cool.
Yeah.
We should do live checks on this. What is your current? You want to do live check?
I'll look at it right now.
Check it. Click on it.
It's a little bit of a pain because you have to go and you have to log in.
It's a 2-part verification.
Then you have this thing where it shows you this picture with a puzzle piece and you have to slide the puzzle piece over till it fits.
Uh-huh.
So that's like the I'm not a robot thing. And then it sends you a code, a text message code, which I'm about to get.
Then you put the code in.
And here it is.
Don't tell anybody the code. It's 7738129.
My password is... All right, so now I'm at 50410.
50410.
Yep.
You just did this morning?
Yep.
Awesome.
So I lost $1 between noon and now it's almost 2:00. But it's not even about the day to day. It's about the year.
No, it's a long-term thing. It's a long-term thing. I get it. I'm just interested for my own personal interest. I've heard a lot about all this, but I have not researched it. So you've already made $4 today, roughly, and it could go up, it could go down. Obviously, it was 505. Now it's 504, but we're learning.
I
think we should do a check-in.
Where it showed how much each one went up or down, but now I know. Oh, here, wait. Okay, so Bitcoin, I bought 400 and now it's at 403.56. So I got 356 from that, and Ethereum went up 53 cents.
Yee.
So
look at you go.
Anyway, so it shows them individually too. And there's like freaking 50. It shows 50 different cryptocurrencies. I haven't heard of any of them.
Yeah. You should get some Dogecoin. I think I've heard of that one too. It's like a dog.
Yeah, they talked about that on that podcast too. How it was kind of like a meme that Elon tweeted about.
Made it into Crypto.
And
I
they
love
said that he did that more of just kind of like an FU to the man, you know.
Yeah. And I heard it was good it was hot for a little bit. Now it's not as hot, but it's funny.
Yeah. So that's cool. That's interesting. Something new that I'm trying. We'll see what happens. Because YouTube isn't working. I've been putting money into YouTube for 6-7 years, and I made $200 over that time. So
I've made $0, so I'm gonna start an OnlyFans. Go to my OnlyFans, www.fatmannaked.com.
I guess you don't even have to be naked. You can do whatever you want on there. It's just less popular.
Well, I think if I'm naked, they're gonna pay me to put my clothes back on.
Hey, making money. So before, we never actually talked about it. You wanted to get a computer to edit videos and stuff?
Yeah, I want to get a computer to edit some videos. I want to get, I think I'm going to get a GoPro because I need a new one. I have like a GoPro Hero 3 Black, an OG. I want to get a newer one because I do stuff where I break stuff. Yeah, I thought about, it'd be cool to be famous and be a famous YouTuber. I'm not worried about that though either. I just want to take videos like we went to Petrified Forest and the Grand Canyon and stuff. We had all these cool adventures, but it's just me and the wife. And it'd be cool to show my parents and show like your parents and just people I know. Be like, hey, I made this video. Check it out. We did some stuff. And like, in 10 years, I can go back and look at it and be like, oh man, that was really fun. I remember that. I need to go back there and check out this place or that place. Like, I'm sure in 10 or 20 years, I'm going to watch these videos and be like, holy shit, I was just a baby.
Yeah, if nothing else, I look at this stuff that I put on YouTube as something that I can look back or that Will can look back on. Like even worst case, say something happens to me, he'll have all of this 7 years worth of me on the internet.
Yeah, your kids will be able to see it. I mean, eventually something's going to happen to us all. So as long as YouTube's still there, it'd be kind of cool to, I think especially just losing my grandfather, it'd be cool to be able to go back and see him have a conversation, even though you can't necessarily be a part of it, to see him and hear him talk. And I think that'd be a really cool thing. So maybe one day, if I ever have any kids, if I have any puppies, maybe they'll look at this one day and be like, hey, or they'll be like, oh my God, my dad was a douche.
Douche. That'd be very interesting. Imagine if we could go back and watch videos from people from like the early 1900s. That would be super cool, but you can't. So, for example, like my grandkids could go back and look at this and be like, whoa, you weren't always old.
Exactly. I think that's really cool. Like look at dad or look at grandpa or look at whatever way back in the day. I think that's going to be a really cool thing in like 50 years. I'm playing with my little fan. I got this fan for when I camp. It's got a light in it. And the grill just came off and it has a stash spot in it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that, but it's got a stash spot in it. But it's got a bunch of holes in it, so the dogs are going to smell your pot, man. Maybe you can put like a little air freshener in there or something.
It's going to blow the smell around.
Going to blow the pot smell everywhere. No, because like when you camp, it gets kind of stagnant sometimes.
Yeah,
So
especially
this thing.
Especially in like wet, like if it was raining.
Yeah. It's got a little light in it. It's got a little fan. It's battery power. It's got a little clip. I don't know.
I was talking to the guy at work, the younger guy, because he wants to get a computer, but he doesn't want to spend a lot of money, but he wants a decent one. He's like, should I just buy one off the shelf or should I build one? And I'm like, all right, well, let's say you buy one, just for example, for $2,000. You're only getting like $1,000 computer. But if you buy $2,000 worth of parts, you could build one that's that good. Because one you buy is not going to have, it's going to have a mediocre graphics card or a mediocre processor. maybe better of one and worse of the other, but if you build one, it's more efficient use of your money.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a MacBook or something like that. So he's never had a PC, a Windows computer. So, and you mentioned a Mac something. I can't remember.
Yeah,
which one.
I think we're looking at an iMac computer, because I've had Windows stuff all my life, and now I'm on an iPhone, and I have an iTV and an whatever, all the I's, iPad, iPod, and I really like their style, if you would, the way you work with them. Excuse me. And my last Windows machine, I think, has Windows 10, and I hate it. I can't stand it. So I'm like, F you all the way to wherever you came from. I'm going to go with the iMac. Well, and the GoPro, those are Apple product. And
oh, are they? I didn't know that.
Well, they're not Apple, but they are Apple. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to go that route then. And for video editing and stuff, I heard that they're pretty awesome.
Yeah, what I was trying to say about that is I don't know anything about Apple products. I've never had any. Mm-hmm. So I guess I was trying to say that if you needed help figuring out how to use the editing program or something, I could probably give you like general, this is how I have Sony Movie Studio is the one I use. I can give you a general, this is how this works with mine, but I don't know how an Apple one works or even what program they have compared to what I have.
Yeah, and that's true. And but there's so many tutorials and stuff. I'm not necessarily worried about that part of it. I'm just more like, hey, I know you're going to pay more for an Apple product, but is it superior compared to a PC? As for what I want to do. If I want to edit video and pictures and go on Facebook, is an Apple product going to be better or not? So I don't know. We haven't made any decisions. I haven't bought anything. We just got the house refied, and we've been traveling, and we've been doing stuff. So I almost bought an army truck. Oh, I was like, man, if I'm going to buy an army truck, I better start a YouTube channel, at least so I can remember all the things I do to it.
Mm.
But I didn't buy an army truck so the website's like an auction. It's a government auction website. It's the same website Terry bought all the army trucks from, right? Back in the day. And I didn't understand the full process. So I was watching this army truck, and it was going for like $5,000. And I was like, okay, hell yeah, I can do that. Well, apparently you put in your bid, and your bids don't go up until they actually go live with the auction. It's not like eBay where it's like do. There's like a brief moment in time where all the bids go in, and then you have a little chance to rebid. So these things really go for like 15 to 18 grand, which is out of my budget right now. Maybe not eventually, but right now it's out of my budget. So now I know how those are working a little more, and I know a little bit more about what I need to do.
Yeah.
I really want an army truck. So if anybody has like 15 grand, they can loan me for real dirt cheap. Just holler at your boy.
You want one of those, like those Chevy trucks that we had over there? No. So what is it?
Are hold on.
Oh.
That.
I want one of those.
Yeah. Well, that's an armored one. They look like this kind of. So that's what I was looking at.
Cool.
And you can get them pretty cheap, but not as cheap as I, for some reason, thought. So. Okay.
It's funny. There's two pictures of me. There was two pictures of me, and they were mirrored.
What's going on here? Oh, I messed this up bad, didn't I? Oh, no. What did I do?
Now it's broken.
Am I right side up for you?
No, you're sideways, and it's in like a narrow. Oh, something happened. No, no.
Nope. Oh man, I ruined it. Oh, I don't know.
No.
I ruined it. What did I do, Corey?
Maybe I can turn it. Well, everybody just got home here, so I guess unless you got another story or something to tell, maybe we just call it a day. Sounds like you got a lot of stuff to do too.
I'm out of stories. I gotta go get ready. I gotta go to a birthday party. We're gonna partay. I'm so sorry. I broke it.
I gotta pee anyway, so I was gonna say we should take a break to pee, but then I just saw that they got home. So she's got to go. What is it? It's 2:00. She's got to go at 4:00 to go babysit. So I'm gonna probably spend some time with them, and then I'm gonna come back down here and edit videos. So
okay.
So yeah, do some cool stuff and have some stories, and we'll try to do it again next week if we can. If not, it'll be 3 weeks.
It'll be sometime. All right. We'll chat at you later. Have a good night. Good luck
All right.
with that.
Good luck with that.